Now that we're ready to go, and I'll keep an eye out for Michaela, let's introduce ourselves and where we are coming from, starting with Missy.
Hi, I'm Missy Mendoza. I'm Australian born and bred, but I currently live in New Zealand. And I'm going to play Amazons in the Mask, Jula, Second Stranger, Titus, Second Senator, and Timanda.
Alexander.
My name is Alexander Tasev. I come from Bulgaria, but I've been living in Germany for the last 5.5 years. And I'm going to be playing the Painter, Cupid, Third Stranger, First Friend, First Bandit, Third Senator, Old Man, and Flaminius.
Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon Walker. I live in New York, and been in New York for years. And today I'm going to be playing the Merchant, First Lady, Man of Isidore, Purninia, Fourth Senator, and Servilius.
Second here. Okay, Bjorn.
Hi, I'm Bjorn. I am from New York. I'm in North Dakota currently, of all places. I'm going to be playing Apamitus, Sempronius, Hortensius, Fourth Friend, Soldier, and First Senator.
Eric.
I'm Garrett Qualey. I live in New York City, but I'm actually currently in Washington, D.C., and I'm playing Messenger, First Lord, Caphis, Philotus, Second Servant, and First Woman.
I also want to say, Garrett, did you know about Will Gear? Those who were all old enough to know except Alexander may be old enough to remember the Waltons. Do you remember?
I did, yeah. I know about Theatricum, Britannicum, actually because Richard Thomas loved the book and sent me a nice note and said it reminded him of that. So we sent them one, and they were a little upset at first because she had wanted to do a book like this but hadn't gotten around to it. So
well, why don't you tell everybody what we were talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a book out called Botanical Shakespeare. We have a foreword by Helen Mirren. It's all the plants in Shakespeare, not just the flowers. Mm-hmm. We include the bean and the little thorns and all of that stuff. And Judi Dench just took it on her program about trees, so that's pretty cool.
And Will Gear collected every flower mentioned.
He did, yeah. I don't know if medlars can grow out there, though. I'm on this tack with this woman who started a medlar orchard in England to try to get Americans more. The medlar is in this play, actually. It's only in 4 plays, and people have a very hard time parsing what the lines mean, especially if you don't know what a medlar looks like. It's very important. I actually make the bold claim in the book that that this is where the epithet fruit comes from for gay. But if you look at dictionaries of these kinds, they don't. They say 19th century, possibly 16th century, but they don't say why. It's because of this fruit.
Well, at least you didn't bring starlings to this country. That's somebody else. Now we got a starling problem. Okay, Shelia?
Yes, Shelia, I'm in New York City. This is a new camera, so if you have any trouble hearing me or anything, please let me know. I'm just adapting to it right now. And I think I'm in Athens. Right now I'm in Athens.
Certainly Athens, yes. Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark. I live in Long Beach, California. I am playing, let's see, the Second Servant, Second Lord, the Fool, the Second Bandit, the Second Friend, and Ventidius.
Okay. And Michaela was supposed to read with Cecilius, Man of Barrow, Second Woman, Second Senator, First Servant, and Third Bandit. But we will, again, rather than reassign them, we'll just deal with them as they come. And I am Vincent. I will be reading Third Flavius, Second Man, Third Servant Timon first stranger and third senator. Okay, so here we go. Without further ado, and I'll be reading stage directions. Timon of Athens by William Shakespeare, Act 1, Scene 1. Enter poet, painter, jeweler, merchant, and several doors.
Good day, sir.
I'm glad you are well.
I've not seen you long. How goes the world?
It wears, sir, as it grows.
Aye, that's well known. But what particular rarity, what strange, what manifold record not matches? See, magic of bounty, all these spirits thy power hath conjured to attend. I know the merchant.
I know them both. The other's a jeweler.
Oh, 'tis a worthy lord.
Nay, that's most fixed.
A most incomparable man, breathed as it were, to an unentirable and continuate goodness. He passes.
I have a jewel here.
Oh, pray, let's see it. For Lord Timon, sir?
If he will touch the estimate, but for that,
When we for recompense have praised the vile, it stains the glory in that happy verse which aptly sings the good.
'Tis a good form.
and Brit, here is a water, look ye.
You are wrapped, sir, in some work, some dedication to the great Lord.
Things slipped idly from me. Our poesy is as a gum which oozes from whence 'tis nourished. The fire in the flint shows not till it be struck. Our gentle flame provokes itself, and like the current flies each bound it chases. What have you there?
A picture, sir. When comes your book forth?
Upon the heels of my presentment, sir. Let's see your piece.
'Tis a good piece.
So 'tis. This comes off well and excellent.
Indifferent.
Admirable! How this grace speaks his own standing. What a mental power this eye shoots forth. How big imagination moves in this lip. To the dumbness of the gesture one might interpret.
It is a pretty mocking of the life. Here is a touch. Is it good?
I will say that it tutors nature. Artificial strife lives in these touches, livelier than life.
How this Lord is fought.
The
How this
senators
Lord
of
is
Athens-
fought.
The senators of Athens, happy men.
Look, more.
Oh, you see this confluence, this great flood of visitors? I have in this rough work shaped out a man whom this beneath world doth embrace and hug with amplest entertainment. My free drift halts not particularly, but moves itself in a wide sea of wax. No leveled malice infects one comma in the course I hold, but the flies in eagle flight, bold and forth on, leaving no tract behind.
How shall I understand you?
I will unbold you. You see how all conditions, how all minds, as well of glib and slippery creatures as of grave and austere quality, tender down their services to Lord Timon. His large fortune upon his good and gracious nature hanging, subdues and properties to his love and tendance, all sorts of hearts. Yea, from the glass-faced flatterer to Apomantus, that few things loves better than to abhor himself, even he drops down the knee before him and returns in peace most rich in Timon's lot.
I saw them speak together.
Sir, I have upon a high and pleasant hill feigned fortune to be throned. The base of the mount is ranked with all deserts, all kinds of natures that labor on the bosom of this sphere to propagate their states. Amongst them all, whose eyes are on the sovereign lady fixed, one do I personate of Lord Timon's frame, whom fortune with her ivory hand wafts to her, whose present grace to present slaves and servants translates his rivals.
'Tis conceived to scope, this throne, this fortune, and this hue, methinks, with one man beckoned from one rest below, bowing his head against the steepy mount, to climb his happiness would be well expressed in our condition.
Nay, sir, but hear me on. All those which were his fellows but of late, some better than his value, on the moment follow his strides, his lobbies fill with tendance, rain sacrificial whispering in his ear, make sacred even his stirrup, and through him drink the free air.
Aye, Mary, what of these?
When fortune in her shrift and change of mood spurns down her late beloved, all his dependents which labored after him to the mountain's top, even on their knees and hands, let him slip down, not one accompanying his declining foot.
It's common. 1,000 moral paintings I can show that shall demonstrate these quick blows of fortunes more pregnantly than words. Yet you do well to show Lord Timon that means eyes have seen the foot above the head.
Trumpet sound. Enter Lord Timon, addressing himself courteously to every suitor. He is accompanied by a messenger followed by Lucilius and other servants. In prison, say you?
Aye, my good lord. 5 talents is his debt. His means most short, his creditors most strait. Your honorable letter he desires to those have shut him up, which failing periods his comfort.
Noble Vincent, well, I am not of that feather to shake off my friend when he must need me. Gentleman that he well deserves a help, which he shall have. I'll pay the debt and free him.
Your lordship ever binds him.
Bend me to him. I will send him ransom and begin enfranchise. Bid him come to me. It's not enough to help the feeble up, but to support him after. Very well.
All happiness to your honor.
We exit. Enter an old Athenian.
Lord Timon, hear me speak.
Really good father.
Thou hast a servant named Lucilius.
I have so. What of him?
Most noble Timon, call the man before thee.
Attends he here or no, Lucilius? That's Nikila. So, Bjorn, do you want to take it?
Sure. Here at your lordship's service.
This fellow here, Lord Timon, this thy creature, by night frequents my house. I am a man that from my first have been inclined to thrift, and my estate deserves an heir more raised than one which holds a trencher.
Well, what further?
One only daughter have I, no kin else, on whom I may confer what I have got. The maid is fair, of the youngest for a bride, and I have bred her at my dearest cost, in qualities of the best. This man of thine attends her life. I prithee, noble lord, join me to forbid him her resort. Myself has spoke in vain.
The man is honest.
Therefore he will be, Timon. His honesty rewards him in itself. It must not bear my daughter.
Does she love him?
She is young and apt. Our own precedent passions do instruct us what levity is in youth.
Love you, the maid?
Aye, my good lord, and she accepts of it.
If in her marriage my consent be missing, I I call the gods to witness. I will choose mine heir from forth the beggars of the world and dispossess her all.
How shall she be endowed? She be mated with an equal husband.
3 talents on the present, in future all.
This gentleman of mine hath served me long. To build his fortune, I will strain a little. For 'tis a bond in men. Give him thy daughter. What you bestowed in him, I'll counterpoise and make him weigh with her.
Most noble lord, bound me to this your honor. She is his.
My hand to thee. Mine honor on my promise.
Humbly I thank your lordship. Never may that state or fortune fall into my keeping which is not owed to you.
He exits with the old Athenian.
Vouchsafe my labor and long live your lordship.
I thank you. You shall hear from me anon. Go not away. What have you there, my friend?
A piece of painting which I do beseech your lordship to accept.
Painting is welcome. The painting is almost the natural man, for since dishonor traffics with man's nature, he is but outside. These penciled figures are even such as they give out. I like your work, and you shall find I like it. Wait attendance till you hear further from me.
God preserve you.
Well, fare you, gentlemen. Give me your hand. We must needs dine together. Sir, your jewel under praise.
What, my lord, dispraise?
A mere satiety of commendation. If I should pay for you, for 'tis as 'tis extolled, it would unglue me quite.
My lord, 'tis rated as those which sell would glue, but you well know things of like value differing in the owners are prized by their masters. Lord, dear lord, you meant the jewel by the wearing it.
Well mocked.
No, my good lord, he speaks of the common tongue, which all makes men speak with him.
Enter Appomattus. Look who comes here. Will you be child? Will you be chid?
Will bear with your lordship.
No spare none.
Good morrow to thee, gentle Appomattus.
Till I be gentle, stay thou for thy good morrow, when thou art Timon's dog, and these knaves honest.
Why dost thou call them names? Thou knowest them not.
Are they not Athenians?
Yes.
Well, then I repent not.
You know me, Appomattus?
Thou knowest I do. I called thee by thy name.
Thou art proud, Appomattus.
Of nothing so much as that I am not like Timon.
Whither art going?
To knock out an honest Athenian's brains.
That's, it's to die for.
Right, if doing nothing be death by the law.
How like thou this picture, Appomattus?
The best for the innocents.
Wrought he not well that painted it?
He wrought better that made the painter, and yet he's but a filthy piece of work.
You are a dog.
My mother's of my generation. What's she if I be a dog?
Wilt thou dine with me, Appomattus?
No, I eat not lords.
And thou didst anger ladies.
Well, they eat lords, so they come by great bellies.
That's a lascivious apprehension.
So thou apprehendest it. Take it for thy labor.
How dost thou like this jewel, Appomattus?
Not so well as plain dealing, which will not cost a man do it.
That what dost thou think 'tis worth?
It's not worth my thinking. How now, poet?
How now, philosopher?
Thou liest.
Art not one?
Yes.
Then I lie not.
Art not a poet?
Yes.
Well, then thou liest. Look in thy last work, where thou hast feigned a worthy fellow.
That's not feigned. He is so.
Yes, he's worthy of thee, and to pay thee for thy labor. He that loves to be flattered is worthy of the flatterer. Oh, heavens that I were a lord.
What wouldst thou do then, Atlas?
Even as Apophantus does now. Hate a lord with my heart.
What, thyself?
Aye.
Wherefore?
That I had no angry wit to be a lord. Art thou not a merchant?
I, Upper Mantis.
Traffic confound thee if the gods will not.
If traffic do it, the gods do it.
Traffic's thy god, and thy god confound thee.
Trumpet sounds. Enter a messenger. What trumpet's that? What trumpet's that?
'Tis Alcibiades and some 20 horse, all of companionship.
Pray, entertain them. Give them guide to us. Servants and exit messenger. You must needs dine with me. Go not you hence till I have thanked you. When dinner's done, show me this piece. I am joyful for your sight. For Alcibiades with the rest. Most welcome, sir.
So there, contract and starve your supple joints, that there shall be some small love amongst these sweet knaves. And all this courtesy, the strain of man's bred out into baboon monkey.
Sir, you have saved my longing, and I feed most hungrily on your sight.
Right welcome, sir. Ere we depart, we'll share a bounteous time in different places. Derek, to the first
Oh, so
word.
sorry. I thought you were reading the other stuff. What time of day is it, Appomantus?
Time to be honest.
That time serves still.
The most accursed thou that still omittest it.
Thou art going to Lord Timon's feast?
Aye, to see meat fill knaves and wine heat fools.
Fare thee well. Fare thee well.
Thou art a fool to bid me farewell twice.
Why, Appomantus?
Shouldst thou have kept one to thyself, for I mean to give thee none.
Hang thyself.
No, I will do nothing at thy bidding. Make thy request to thy friend.
Away, unpeaceable dog, or I'll spurn thee hence.
I will flee. I will fly like a dog. The heels of the ass.
He's opposite to humanity. Come, shall we in and taste Lord Timon's bounty? He outgoes the very heart of kindness.
He pours it out. Pluto's, the god of gold, is but his steward. No meed, but he repays sevenfold above itself. No gift to him, but breeds the giver a return exceeding all use of quittance.
The noblest mind he carries that ever governed man.
Long may he live in fortunes. Shall we in?
Exit. Scene 2. Hot boys playing loud music. A great banquet served in, and then enter Lord Timon, the states, and the Athenian lords, including
Most honored Timon, it hath pleased the gods to remember my father's age, and call...
and others.
Excuse me. Did I jump the gun?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Most honored Timon,
Okay.
It hath pleased the gods to remember my father's age and call him to long peace. He is gone happy, and has left me rich. Then, as in grateful virtue I am bound to your free heart, I do return those talents, doubled with thanks and service, from whose help I derived liberty.
Oh, by no means honest Ventidius. Mistake my love, I give it freely ever, and there's none can truly say he gives if he receives. For our betters play at that game. We must not dare to imitate them. Faults are rich are fair. Faults that are rich are fair.
Ah, noble spirit.
Nay, my lord's ceremony was but devised at first to set a gloss on faint deeds, hollow welcome, recanting goodness, sorry ere 'tis shown. But where there is true friendship, there needs none. Pray sit. More welcome are you to my fortunes than my fortunes to me.
My lord, we always have confessed it.
Oh, confessed it, hanged it, have you not?
Oh, Appomattox, you are welcome.
No, you shall not make me welcome. I've come to have thee thrust me out of doors.
Why, thou art curd, you've got a humor there, does not become a man, is much to blame. They say, my lords, ra furibus est, but yon man is ever angry. Go, let him have a table by himself, for he does neither affect company, nor is he fit for food indeed.
Then let me stay at thine apparel, Timon. I come to observe it. I give thee warning on it.
I take no heed of thee. Thou art an Athenian, therefore welcome. I myself would have no more. Prithee, let my meat make thee silent.
I scorn thy meat. 'Twould choke me, for I should ne'er flatter thee. Oh, you gods, what number of men eats Timon, and he sees them not. It grieves me so to see many dip their meat in one man's blood, and all the madness is, he cheers them too. I wonder men dare trust themselves with men. Methinks they should invite themselves without knives, good for their meat, and safer for their lives. There's much example for it. The fellow that sits next to him now parts bread with him, pledges the breath of him in divided draught, is the readiest man to kill him. 'Tis been proved, if I were a huge man, I should fear to drink at meals, lest they should spy my windpipe's dangerous notes. Great men should drink with harness on their throats.
Ah, my lord, in heart, and let the health go round.
Let it flow this way, my good lord.
Flow this way. A brave fellow, he keeps his tides well. Those healths will make thee and thy state look ill, Timon. Here's that which is too weak to be a sinner, honest water, which ne'er left man i' the mire. This and my food are equals. There's no odds. Feasts are too proud to give thanks to the gods. Immortal gods, I crave no pelf. I pray for no man but myself. Grant I may never prove so fond to trust man on his oath or bond, or a harlot for her weeping, or a dog that seems a-sleeping, or a keeper with my freedom, or my friends should I need 'em. Amen. So fall to it. Rich men sin, and I eat root. Much good ditch thy heart, good Appomattox. Oh, do I? My heart is ever at your service, my lord, I think? Or
No, much good ditch thy.
oh, much good ditch thy heart, good Apomanthus.
Captain Alcibiades, your heart's in the field now.
My heart is ever at your service, my lord.
You had rather be at a breakfast of enemies than a dinner of friends.
So they were bleeding new, my lord. There's no meat like 'em. I could wish my best friends at such a feast.
Would all those flatterers thine enemies, then, that thou might killest them and bid them to me?
Might we but have that happiness, my lord, that you would once use our hearts, whereby we might express some part of our zeals, we should think ourselves forever perfect.
Oh, no doubt, my good friends, but the gods themselves have provided that I shall have much help from you. How have you been, my friends else? Why have you that charitable title from thousands who do not to you chiefly belong to my heart? I have told more of you to myself than you can, with modesty, speak in your own behalf. And thus far I confirm you. If we should ne'er have meet 'em, they were the most have use for 'em, and would most resemble sweet instruments hung up in cases that keeps their sounds to themselves. Why I have often wished myself poorer, that I might come nearer to you. We are born to do benefits. And what's better or properer can we call our own than the riches of our friends? Oh, what a precious comfort it is to have so many like brothers commanding one another's fortunes. Oh, joy made away ere can be born. Mine eyes cannot hold out water. Methinks to forget their faults, I drink to you.
A weep is to make them drink, Timon.
Joy had the light conception in our eyes, and at that instant, like a babe, sprung up.
I laughed to think that babe a bastard.
Brandon, you want to take the third word, please?
I promise you, my lord, you move me much.
Much. Sorry.
What means that trump at your servant? That would be Missy. You want to take servant, please?
Yes, of course. Please you, my lord, there are certain ladies most desirous of admittance.
Ladies, what are their wills?
There comes of them a forerunner, my lord, which bears that office to signify their pleasures.
I pray, let them be admitted. So next enter Cupid.
Hail to thee, worthy Timon, and to all that of his bounties taste. The five best senses acknowledge thee, thee their patron, and come freely to gratulate thy plenteous bosom. Their taste touch all, pleased from thy tables rise. They only now come but to feast thine eyes.
Make them welcome. Garrett, could you take Lucius, please?
You see, my lord, how ample your beloved.
Hoy day. What does it continue? What a sweep of vanity comes this way. They dance, they are mad women. Like madness is the glory of this life, and this pomp shows to a little oil and to root. We make ourselves fools to disport ourselves, and spend our flatteries to drink those men, upon whose age we void it up again, with poisonous spite and envy. Who lives that's not depraved or depraves? Who dies that bears not one spurn to their graves or their friend's gift? I should fear those that dance before me now, would one day stamp upon me. It has been done. Men shut their doors against a setting sun.
It's frozen.
Can you hear me?
Vincent?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I do.
Yep.
I hear you.
Can
I hear you too.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. The lords rise from the table with much adoring to show their loves, each single out an Amazon and all dance men and women, and to the few boys and cease. You have done our pleasure much grace, fair ladies. Set a fair fashion on our entertainment. Unsuit and luster, and entertain me with mine own device.
Oh, my lord, you take us even at the best.
Faith for the worst is filthy and would not hold taking, I doubt me.
Ladies, there is an idle banquet attends you.
Please you to dispose yourselves.
Most thankfully, my lord.
Vincent, are you back? I took over for you and you.
Oh, you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
We hear you.
Mhm.
Hello?
Hello. It's breaking up a little bit,
Can you
but
hear me now?
yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry. So let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an idle banquet attends you. Please, you dispose yourselves.
Most thankfully, my lord.
Keep the ladies' exits. Labius. All
My
right.
lord.
Alexander, could you take place? Wait.
My lord?
Yeah, the title, The Little Caskets Bring Me Farther.
Yes, my lord. More jewels yet? There's no crossing him in his humor. Else I should tell him, well, in fact I should. When all's spent, he'd be crossed then, and he could, this petty bounty, had not eyes behind, that men might ne'er be wretched for his mind.
Where be our men?
Here, my lord, in red. I'm sorry.
Here, my lord. Here, my lord, in readiness.
Horses.
Enter Flavius with a casket. Oh, my friends, I have one word to say to you. Look you, my good lord, I must entreat you. Honor me so much as to advance this jewel. Accept it and wear it. Kind, my lord.
I am so far already in your gifts.
So are we
Oh,
all.
Are we all? My lord, there are certain nobles of the Senate newly alighted and come to visit you.
Enter servants.
My lord, there are certain nobles of the Senate newly alighted and come to visit you.
They are fairly welcome. Servant exit.
I beseech your honor, vouchsafe me a word. It does concern you near.
Near? Why then another time I'll hear thee. I prithee, let be provided to show them entertainment.
I scarce know how.
May it please your honor, Lord Lucius, out
Enter
of...
another servant.
May it please your honor, Lord Lucius, out of his free love hath presented you 4 milk-white horses trapped in silver.
Let the presence be worth entertained. Servant exits. Enter third servant.
It's going to be the third servant,
Oh
me
no.
or something.
Oh no. What news?
Please you, my lord, that honourable gentleman, Lord Lucullus, entreats your company tomorrow to hunt with him, and has sent your honours 2 brace of greyhounds.
I'll hunt with him and let them be received, not without fair reward. So exits.
What will this come to? He commands us to provide and give great gifts, and all out of an empty coffer. Nor will he know his purse or yield me this, to show him what a beggar his heart is. Being of no power to make his wishes good, his promises fly so beyond his state that what he speaks is all in debt. He owes for every word. He is so kind that he now pays interest for it. His lands put to their books. Well, would I were gently put out of office before I were forced out. Happier is he that has no friend to feed, than such that do even enemies exceed. I bleed inwardly for my lord.
Exits. You do yourselves much wrong. You base too much of your own merits. Here, my lord, a trifle of our love.
With more than common thanks, I will receive it.
Shilia, can you take that?
Oh, he's the very soul of bounty.
And Lord, you gave good words the other day of a bay cursor. I wrote on. 'Tis yours because you like this.
Oh, I beseech you, pardon me, my lord, in that.
You may take my word, my lord. I know no man called praise, but what he does affect. I weigh my friend's affection with mine own. I'll tell you true, I'll call to you.
Oh,
none so
None so
welcome.
I take all and your several visitations. Enough to give me things. I could deal kingdoms to my friends, and ne'er be weary. Alcibiades, thou art a soldier. And all the land thou to pitched field.
aye, defiled land, my lord.
We are so virtuously bound.
And so am I to you.
So infinitely endeared.
All to you, lights, more lights.
The best of happiness, honor, and fortunes keep with you, Lord Timon.
Ready for his friends. All the time and after that is empty. Bjorn?
Oh, sorry. What are coils here? Serving of becks and jutting out of bums. I doubt whether their legs be worth the sums that are given for 'em, friendships full of dregs. Methinks false hearts should never have sound legs. Thus honest fools lay out their wealth on courtesies.
Now, after that is, if thou wert not sullen, I would be good to thee.
No foul nothing, for I should be bribed too. There would be none left to rail upon thee. And then thou wouldst sin the faster. Thou givest so long, Timon, I fear me thou wilt give away thyself in paper shortly. What needs these feasts, pomps, and vainglories?
Nay, and you begin to rail on society once. I'm sure not to give regard to you. Farewell, and come with better news.
So thou wilt not hear me now, and thou shalt not then. I'll lock thy heaven from thee. Oh, that men's ears should be to counsel deaf, but not to flattery.
The exits, Act 2. Scene 1 enters. For you, Bjorn.
I am the first senator. Sorry, I just saw senator and first. Okay, so I'm sorry. And late 5,000 to Varro and to Isidore. He owes 9,000 besides my former sum, which makes it 5 and 20. Still in motion of raging waste. It cannot hold. It will not. If I want gold, steal but a beggar's dog and give it to Timon, while the dog coins gold. If I would sell my horse and buy 20 more, better than he, why give my horse to Timon? Ask nothing, give it him, it fouls me straight, and able horses, no porter at his gate, but rather one that smiles and still invites all that pass by. It cannot hold. No reason can sound his state in safety. Cafis ho. Cafis, I say.
Here, sir, what is your pleasure?
Well, get on your cloak and haste you to Lord Timon. Importune him for my monies. Be not ceased with slight denial, nor silenced when commend me to your master. And the cap plays in the right hand thus. But tell him my use is cry to me. I must serve my turn out of my own. His days and times are past, and my reliances on his fracted dates have smit my credit. I love and honor him, but must not break my back to heal his finger. Immediate are my needs, and my relief must not be tossed and turned to me in words, but find supply immediate and get you done. Put on a most importunate aspect, a visage of demand, for I do fear when every feather sticks in his own wing. Lord Timon will be left a naked gull, which flashes now a phoenix. Get you gone.
I go, sir.
I go, sir? Take the bonds along with you and have the dates in. Come.
I will, sir.
Go.
I exit. Scene 2, enter steward Flavius, with many bills in his hand.
No care, no stop, so senseless of expense that he will neither know how to maintain it, nor cease his flow of riot. He takes no account how things go from his, nor he resumes no care of what is to continue. Never mind was to be so unwise, to be so kind. What shall be done? He will not hear till feel. I must be round with him, now he comes from hunting. Fie, 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 fie.
Good even, Varro. What? You come for money?
I have lost my place. Where are
55?
where are we?
Page
Oh,
55?
Page 55, like line 10-ish.
Okay, thank you. Enter Caiaphas, man of Isidore, and Varro.
Good even, Varro. What? You come for money?
And Mark, would you take man of Varro, please?
Take, sorry, I lost my place.
55.
Caiaphas.
Yeah.
Is it not your business?
Mark? Are you there, Mark?
Yeah, I can't see where we are. What's the name of the character?
Varro's man.
Varro's man. Top of page 55.
Line 11.
Complete. This doesn't match the edition I have. I'm totally lost now.
I can't hear you.
Wait. Oh, okay. Varro, my good lord Isidore's servant from Isidore. He humbly prays your speedy payment.
It's top of 55. Enter Caiaphas, man of Isidore and Varro.
Good even, Varro. What? You come for money?
I'll take it. Is not your business too?
It is. And yours too, Isidore?
Sir, it is so.
Would we were all discharged.
I fear it.
Here comes the Lord.
Enter Timon and his train with Alcibiades. As soon as it is done, we'll forth again. My Alcibiades, with me. What's in your will?
My lord, here is a note of certain dues.
News? Whence are you?
Of Athens here, my lord.
Go to my steward.
Please it, your lordship, he hath put me off to the succession of new days this month. My master is awaked by great occasion to call upon his own and humbly praise you that with your other noble parts you'll suit in giving him his right.
Mine honest friend are pretty but prepare to me next morning.
Nay, my good lord.
Contain yourself, good friend. Derek, can you take Varro's man?
Sir, one Varro servant, my good lord.
From Isidore, he humbly prays your speedy payment.
If you did know, my lord, my master's wants was due on forfeiture, my lord. 6 weeks had passed.
Your steward puts me off, my lord, and I am sent expressly to your lordship.
Give me a breath, I do beseech you, good my lords, keep on. I'll wait upon you instantly. Alcibiades, come hither, pray you. How goes the world that I am thus encountered with clamorous demands of debts and the detention of long since sued debtors against my honor?
Please, you gentlemen, the time is unagreeable to this business. Your importunancy ceased till after dinner, that I may make his lordship understand wherefore you are not paid.
Do so, my friends. See them well entertained.
Pray draw near.
Timon of Athens segment. Enter Alcibiades and Fool. Appomattus and Fool.
Stay. Here comes the fool with Appomattus. Let's have some sport with them.
Hang him, he'll abuse us.
A plague upon him, dog.
Thou dost, fool.
Does dialogue with thy shadow?
I speak not to thee.
Well, no, 'tis to thyself. Come away.
There's the fool hangs on your back already.
No, thou standest single. Thou'rt not on him yet.
Where's the fool now?
He last asked the question. Poor rogues and usurers, men bawds between gold and want.
What are we?
What are we?
What are we, Appomattus?
Asses.
I?
That you ask me what you are and do not know yourselves. Speak to them, fool.
How do you, gentlemen?
Gramercy, good fool. How does your mistress?
She's e'en setting on water, scald such chickens as you are. Would we see you at Corinth?
Good Gramercy.
Answer page.
Look you, here comes my mistress Page.
Oh, what how now, Captain? What do you in this wise company? How dost thou, Appomattus?
Would I had a rod in my mouth that I might answer thee profitably.
Oh, pretty Appomattus, read me the superscription of these letters. I know not which is which.
Canst not read?
No.
There will little learning die that day thou art hanged. This is to Lord Timon. This is to Alcibiades. Go.
Alcibiades.
Thou wast born a bastard, and it'll die a bawd.
Oh, thou wast whelped a dog, and thou shalt famish a dog's death. Answer me not. I am gone.
Yes.
Even so thou runnest grace. Fool, I will go with you to Lord Timon's.
Will you leave me there?
If Timon stay at home, you three serve three usurers?
Aye, would they serve us?
So would I. As good a trick as ever hangman served thief.
Are you three usurers, men?
Aye, fool.
Hi, fool.
I think no usurer but has a fool to his servant. My mistress is one, and I am her fool. When men come to borrow of your masters, they approach sadly, and go away merrily. But they enter my mistress' house merrily, and go away sadly. The reason of this?
I could render one.
Do it then, that we may account the whoremaster and a knave. Notwithstanding, thou shalt be no less esteemed.
What is a whoremaster, fool?
A fool in good clothes, and something like thee. 'Tis a spirit. Sometime appears like a lord, sometime like a lawyer, sometime like a philosopher, with 2 stones mo than's artificial one. He is very often like a knight, and generally in all shapes that man goes up and down in form 4 to 13. This spirit walks in.
Thou art not altogether a fool.
Nor thou altogether a wise man. As much foolery as I have, so much wit thou lackest.
That answer might have become Apomantus.
Aside.
Aside.
Lord Timon.
Aside, here comes Lord Timon.
Come with me, fool, come.
I do not always follow lover, elder brother and woman, sometime the philosopher.
Pray you, walk near. I'll speak with you anon.
The man exits. You make me marvel wherefore ere this time had you estate before me, that I might so have rented my expense as I had leave of me.
You would not hear me. At many leisures I proposed.
When my indisposition put you back, and that unaptness to excuse yourself.
Oh, my good lord. But many times I brought in my accounts, laid them before you. You would throw them off and say you found them in mine honesty. And for some trifling present you have bid me return so much, and I have shook my head and wept. Yeah, against the authority of manners prayed you to hold your hand more close. I did endure not seldom nor no slight checks when I have prompted you in the ebb of your estate and your great flow of debts. My loved lord, though you hear now too late, yet now's the time. The greatest of your having lacks a half to pay your present debts.
Let all my land be sold.
'Tis so engaged, some forfeited and gone, and what remains will hardly stop the mouth of present dues. The future comes apace. What shall defend the interim? And at length, how goes our reckoning?
To less Simeon did my land extend.
Oh, my good lord, the world is but a word. Were it all yours to give it in a breath, how quickly were it gone?
You tell me true.
If you suspect my husbandry of falsehood, call me before the exactest auditors and set me on the proof. So the gods bless me when all our offices have been oppressed with riotous feeders, when our vaults have wept with drunken spilt of wine, when every room had blazed with lights and bright with minstrelsy. I have retired me to a wasteful cock and set mine eyes at flow.
Prithee, no more.
Heavens, have I said the bounty of this lord? How many prodigal bits have slaves and peasants this night englutted? Who is not Timon's? What hard, hacked, sword, force means but is Lord Timon's? Great Timon, noble, worthy, royal Timon. When the means are gone, that by this praise, the bread is gone whereof this praise is made. Feast won, fast lost. One cloud of winter showers, these flies are couched.
Sermon me no further. No villainous bounty. What ignobly I have given. Why dost thou weep? Canst thou, the conscience of friends, secure thy heart? If I would broach the vessels of my love and tried the argument of arts by borrowing men and men's fortunes could I frankly use as I can bid thee speak.
Assurance bless your thoughts.
And subset these wants of mine are crowned, that I count them blessings. For shall my friends, you shall perceive how you mistake my fortune. I am wealthy, my friend. Within their Minius, Aurelius, and
My lords, my lords.
Good.
My lord.
I will dispatch you, Silvio. You to Lord Lucius, to Lord Lucillus, and you. I hunted with his honor today, to Sempronius. Commend me to their loves, and I am proud to say that my occasions have found time to use them toward a supply of money. Let the request be 50 talents.
As you have said, my lord. Lord Lucius and Lazarus.
You go, sir, to the senators, of whom even to the state's best help I have deserved this hearing. Bid him send of the instant 1,000 talents to me.
I have been bold, for that I knew in the most general way to them to use your signet and your name. But they do shake their heads, and I am here, no richer in return.
True. Can't be.
They answer in a joint and corporate voice that now that they are at full, one treasure cannot do what they would, are sorry. You are honorable, but yet they could have wished. They know not something had been amiss. A noble nature may catch a wrench, would overwhelm this pity. And so, intending other serious matters, after these tasteful looks and these hard fractions, with certain half-caps and coat-moving knots, they froze me into silence.
The gods reward them, prithee, man. Look surely. These old fellows have their gratitude in them hereditary. Their blood is caked, is cold, it seldom flows. His lack of kindly warmth, they are not kind. Nature, as it grows against is fashioned for the journey, dull and heavy. Go to Vincent, prithee. Be not sad. Thou art true and honest, ingeniously I speak. No blame belongs to thee. Ventidius lately buried his father by his death he stepped into a great estate. When he was imprisoned and in scarcity of friends, I cleared him with 5 talents. Greet him from me. Bid him suppose some good necessity touches his friend, which craves to be remembered with those 5 talents. He that had given these fellows, to whom 'tis instant due, ne'er speak or think that Timon's fortunes among his friends can sing. Yet
I could not think it, that thought is bounty's fall. Being free itself, it thinks all others so.
the exit. Act 3, Scene 1. Enter Flaminius, waiting to speak to Lucillus from his master. Enter a servant to him.
That me?
Oh, servant.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I have told my lord of you. He is coming down to you.
I thank you, sir.
Enter
Yes.
Lucilius.
Here's my lord.
Mark, can you take Lucilius?
Sure. Lucilius. One of Lord Timon's men? A gift, I warrant. Why, this hits right. I dreamt of a silver basin, and you were tonight. Flaminius, honest Flaminius, you are very respectively welcome, sir. Fill me some wine. And how does that honorable, complete, free-hearted gentleman of Athens, the very bountiful, good lord and master?
His health is well, sir.
I am right glad that his health is well, sir. And what hast thou there under thy cloak, pretty Flaminius?
Faith, nothing but an empty box, sir, which in my lord's behalf I come to entreat your honor to supply, who, having great and instant occasion to use 50 talents, had sent to your lordship to furnish him, nothing doubting your present assistance therein.
La 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 la, nothing doubting, says he. Alas, good lord, a noble gentleman 'tis, if he would not keep so good a house. And many a time and often I had dined with him, and told him on't, and once again to supper to him, of purpose to have him spend less, and yet he would embrace no counsel, take no warning by my coming. Every man has his fault, and honesty is his. I had told him on't, but I could ne'er get him from't.
Please, your lordship. Please, your lordship, here is the wine.
Flaminius, I have noted thee always wise. Here's to thee.
Your lordship speaks your pleasure.
I have observed thee always for a cowardly prompt spirit. Give thee thy due, and one that knows what belongs to reason, and canst use the time well, if the time use thee well. Good parts in thee. Get you gone, sirrah. Draw nearer, honest Flaminius. Thy lord's a bountiful gentleman, but thou art wise, and thou knowest well enough, although thou comest to me, that this is no time to lend money, especially upon bare friendship, without security. Here's 3 solidaires for thee. Good boy, wink at me, and say thou sawest me not. Fare thee well.
Is it possible the world should so much differ, and we alive that lived? Fly, damned baseness, to him that worships thee.
Ha! Now I see thou art a fool, and fit for thy master.
May this add to the number that may scold thee. Let molten coin be thy damnation, thou disease of a friend and not himself. Has friendship such a faint and milky heart it turns in less than 2 nights? Oh, you gods, I feel my master's passion. This slave, unto his honor has my lord's meeting him. Why should it thrive and turn to nutriment when he is turned to poison? Oh, may diseases only work upon it, and when he's sick to death, let not that part of nature, which my lord paid for be of any power to expel sickness, but prolong his hour.
Yeah, enter Lucius and 3 strangers.
Who, the Lord Timon? He is my very good friend, and an honorable gentleman.
We know him. Yes, though we are but strangers to him. But I can tell you one thing, my lord, and which I hear from common rumors now. Lord Timon's happy hours are done and past, and his estate shrinks from him.
I know. Do not believe it. He cannot want for money.
But believe you this, my lord, that not long ago one of his men was with the Lord Lucullus to borrow so many talents, nay, verged extremely for it, and shrewd. What Timon of Athens, what necessity belonged to it, and yet was denied?
How?
I'll tell you. Denied, my lord.
What a strange case was that. Now before the gods I am ashamed on't. Denied that honorable man. There was very little honor showed in't. For my own part, I must needs confess I have received some small kindnesses from him, as money, plate, jewels, and such like trifles, nothing comparing to his. Yet had he mistook him and sent to me, I should ne'er have denied his occasions so many talents.
Enter Civilis.
See, my good hap yonders, my lord. I have sweat to see his honor. My honored lord.
Servilius, you are kindly met, sir. Fare thee well. Commend me to thy honorable, virtuous lord, my very exquisite friend.
May it please your honor, my lord has sent.
Ha! What has he sent? I am so much endeared to that lord. He's ever sending. How shall I thank him, thinkst thou? And what has he sent now?
He has only sent his present occasion now, my lord, requesting your lordship to supply his instant use with so many talents.
I know his lordship is but merry with me. He cannot want 5,500 talents.
But in the meantime, he wants less, my lord. If his occasion were not virtuous, I should not urge it half so faithfully.
Dost thou speak seriously, Servilius?
Upon my soul, it is true, sir.
What a wicked beast was I to disfurnish myself against such a good time, when I might have shown myself honorable. How unlucky it happened that I should purchase the day before for a little part, and undo a great deal of honored. Servilius, now, before the gods, I am not able to do it. The more beast I say, I was sending to use Lord Timon myself. These gentlemen can witness. But I would commend me bountifully to his good lordship, and I hope his honor will conceive the fairest of me, because I have no power to be kind. And tell him this from me, I count it one of my greatest afflictions, say, that I cannot pleasure such an honorable gentleman. Good Servilius, will you befriend me so far as to use mine own words to him?
Yes, sir, I shall.
I'll look you out a good turn, Servilius. True as you said, Timon is shrunk indeed, and he that's once denied will hardly speed.
He exits. Do you observe this, Hostilius?
I too well.
Why, this is the world's soul, and just of the same piece is every flatterer's sport. We can call him his friend that dips in the same dish, for in my knowing Timon has been this lord's father, and kept his credit with his purse. Nay, Timon's money has paid his men their wages, in their drinks. But Timon's silver ghetto, see the monstrousness of man. When he looks out on an ungrateful shape, he does deny him, in respect of his, what charitable men afford to beggars.
Religion groans at it.
For mine own part, I never tasted Timon in my life, nor came any of his bounties over me for his friend. Yet I protest, for his right noble mind, illustrious virtue, and honorable carriage, I would have put my wealth into donation, and the best half should have returned to him. So much as, but I perceive men must learn now with pity the expense of policy sits above conscience. The exit. Enter a third servant of Timon's and Sempronius, another of Timon's friends.
Must he needs trouble me in it? Above all the others, he might have tried Lord Lucius or Lucilius, and now Ventidius is wealthy too, whom he redeemed from prison. All these owes their estates unto him.
My lord, they have all been touched and found base metal, for they have all denied him.
How? How have they denied him? Has Ventidius and Lucius denied him, and does he send to me free? Shows but little love or judgment in him. Must I be his last refuge? His friends, like physicians, thrive, give him over. Must I take the current upon me? Has much disgraced me in it. I'm angry at him. It might have known my place. I see no sense for it. But his occasions might have wooed me first. For in my conscience, I was the first man that e'er received gift from him. And does he think so backwardly of me now that I'll requite at last? No. So it might prove an argument of laughter to the rest, and I, amongst lords, be thought a fool. I'd rather the worth of thrice the sum had sent to me first. But for my mind's sake, I'd such courage to do him good, but now return, and with their faint reply this answer join. Who bates mine honor shall not know my coin.
Excellent. Excellent. Your lordship's a goodly villain. The dwell knew not what he did when he made man politic. He crossed himself by it, and I cannot think, but in the end the villains of man will set him clear. How fairly this lord strives to appear foul, takes virtuous copies to be wicked, like those that under hot ardent zeal would set whole realms on fire, of such a nature in his politic love. This was my lord's best hope. Now all are fled, say what only the gods. Now his friends are dead, doors that were ne'er acquainted with their wards. Many a bounteous year must be employed now to guard their master, and this is all a liberal course allows. Who cannot keep his wealth must keep his house.
Scene 4. Enter Varro's 2 men, meeting Titus and others. Paying men of Timon's creditors to wait for his out. They enter Lucius, Man, and Hortensius. Well met, good morrow, Titus and Hortensius.
Timon of Athens? The like to you, kind Varro.
Lucius, what do we meet together?
Julia, you want to take Lucius? Julia, are you there?
I'll take it. Aye, and I think one business does command us all, for mine is money.
So is theirs and ours.
And Sir Philotas, too.
And Sir Philotas. Derek? You're muted.
Good day at once.
Welcome, good brother. What do you think the hour?
Laboring for 9.
So much?
Is not my lord seen yet?
Not yet.
I wonder, aunt. He was wont to shine at 7.
Aye, but the days are waxed shorter with him. You must consider that a prodigal course is like the sun's, but not like his recoverable. I fear 'tis deepest winter in Lord Timon's purse. That is, one may reach deep enough and yet find little.
I am of your fear for that.
I'll show you how to observe a strange event. Your lord sends now for money?
Most true, he does.
And he wears jewels now of Timon's gift, for which I wait for money.
It is against my heart.
Mark how strange it shows. Timon in this should pay more than he owes, and e'en as if your lord should wear rich jewels and send for money for him.
I'm weary of this charge, the gods can witness. I know my lord hath spent of Timon's wealth, and now ingratitude makes it worse than stealth.
Yes, mine is 3,000 crowns. Yours.
5,000 mine.
Tis much beef. And it should seem to some, your master's confidence was above mine, else surely he'd have equal to Flaminius.
One of Lord Timon's men.
Sir, a word, pray. Is my lord ready to come forth?
No, indeed he is not.
We attend his lordship. Pray signify so much.
I need not tell him that. He knows you are too diligent.
He exits. Enter Flavius, the steward with cloak.
Ah, is not that his steward muffled so? He goes away in a cloud. Call him, call him.
Do you hear, sir?
By your leave, sir.
What do you ask of me, my friend?
We wait for certain money here, sir.
Aye, if money were as certain as your waiting, it were sure enough. Why then preferred you not your sons and bills when your false masters eat of my lord's meat? Then they could smile and fawn upon his debts and take down the interest into their gluttonous mouths. You do yourselves but wrong to steer me up. Let me pass quietly. Believe it, my lord, and I have made an end. I have no more to reckon, he to spend.
Aye, but this answer will not serve.
If it will not serve, 'tis not so base as you, for you serve knaves.
How? What does his cashiered worship mutter?
No matter what, he's
No matter
poor.
what, he's poor, and he's revenged enough. Okay, speak, but that, then he that has no house to put his head in, such may rail against great buildings. Enter Servilius.
Oh, here's Servilius. Now we shall know some answer.
Oh, if I might beseech you, gentlemen, to repair some other hour, I should derive much from it. For take it of my soul, my lord leads wondrously to discontent, for his comfortable temper has forsook him. He's much out of health and keeps his chamber.
Many do keep their chambers are not sick. And if it be so far beyond his health, methinks he should be sooner pay his debts and make a clear way to the gods.
Good gods!
We cannot take this for answer, sir.
Servilius, help! My lord! My lord!
Enter Timon in a rage.
What?
What are my doors opposed against my passage? Am I ever free and must my house be my retentive enemy, my hell, the place which I have feasted? Does it now, like all mankind, show me an iron heart?
Put in now, Titus.
My lord, here is my bill.
Here's mine.
And mine, my lord.
And ours, my lord.
All our bills.
Knock me down with them. Cleave me with the girdle.
Alas, my lord.
Cut my hearts and sums.
Mine 50 talents.
Tell out my blood.
5,000 crowns, my lord.
5,000 drops pays that. What yours? And yours?
My lord.
Hear me. Take me and the gods fall upon you. Timon exits.
Faith, I perceive our masters may throw their caps at their money. His debts may well be called desperate ones, for a madman owes them.
They exit. That's the Timon and Flavius. They have e'en put my breath from me, slaves, creditors, devils.
My dear lord,
What if it should be so?
my lord,
I'll have it so, my steward.
here, my lord.
So, quickly. Go bid all my friends again, Lucius, Lucellus, and once more peace the resters.
Oh, my lord, you only speak for your distracted soul. There's not much left to furnish out a moderate table.
Be it not in go, I charge thee, invite them all. Let in the tide of knaves once more my cook and I'll provide. Being 5, enter 3 senators at one door, else abiding to with them 10 days.
My lords, you have my voice to it. The fault's bloody. 'Tis necessary he should die. Nothing emboldens sin does so much mercy.
Most true. The law shall bruise him.
Honor, health, and compassion to the Senate.
And now, Captain,
I am humble suitor to your virtues, for pity is the virtue of the law, and none but tyrants use it cruelly. It pleases time and fortune to lie heavy upon a friend of mine who in hot blood hath stepped into the law, which is past depth to those that without heed do plunge into it. He is a man setting his fate aside of comely virtues, nor did he soil the fact with cowardice and honor in him which buys out his fault, but with a noble fury and fair spirit, seeing his reputation touched to death, he did oppose his foe, and with such sober and unnoted passion he did behave his anger ere 'twas spent, as if he had but proved an argument.
you undergo too strict a paradox, striving to make an ugly deed look fair. Your words have took such pains as if they labored to bring manslaughter into form, and set quarreling upon the heat of valor, which indeed is valor misbegot, and came into the world when sects and factions were newly born. He's truly a valiant that can wisely suffer, and worse that man can breathe and make his wrongs his outsides, to wear them like his raiment carelessly, and ne'er prefer his injuries to his heart, to bring it into danger. If wrongs be evils and enforce us kill, what folly 'tis hazard life for ill.
My lord,
Cannot make gross sins look clear. To revenge is no valor, but to bear.
my lords, then, under favor, pardon me if I speak like a captain, why do fond men expose themselves to battle and not endure all threats? Sleep upon it and let the foes quietly cut their throats without repugnancy? If there be such valor in the bearing, What make me abroad? Why then women are more valiant that stay at home if bearing carry it, and the ass more captain than the lion. The felon loaden with irons wiser than the judge, if wisdom be in suffering. Oh, my lords, as you are great, be pitifully good. Who cannot condemn rashness in cold blood? To kill, I grant, is sin's extremest gust, but in defense, by mercy, 'tis most just. To be in anger is impiety, but who is man that is not angry? Weigh but the crime with this.
You breathe in vain.
In vain. His service is done at Lacedaemon and Byzantium. Were a sufficient briber for his life.
What's that?
Why, I say my lords hath done fair service, and slain in fight many of your enemies. How full of valor did he bear himself in the last conflict, and made plenteous wounds.
He has made too much plenty with him. He's a sworn rioter. He has a sin that often drowns him and takes his valor prisoner. If there were no foes, that were enough to overcome him. In that beastly fury, he has been known to commit outrages and cherish factions. 'Tis inferred to us, his days are foul and his drink dangerous.
He dies.
Hard fate! He might have died in war. My lords, if not for any parts of him, though his right arm might purchase his own time and be in debt to none, yet more to move you. Take my deserts to his and join 'em both. And for I know your reverend ages love security, I'll pawn my victories, all my honor to you upon his good returns. If by this crime he owes the law his life, why, let the war receive it in valiant gore. For law is strict and war is nothing more.
We are for law. He dies. Urge it no more on height of our displeasure. A friend or brother, he forfeits his own blood that spills another.
Must it be so? It must not be, my lords, I do beseech you, know me.
How?
Call me to your remembrances.
What?
I cannot think but your age has forgot me. It could not be else I should prove so base to sue and be denied such common grace. My wounds ache at you.
Do you dare our anger? 'Tis in few words, but spacious in effect. We banish thee forever.
Banish me. Banish your dotage. Banish usury that makes the Senate ugly.
If after 2 days shine Athens contain thee, attend our weightier judgment, and not to swell our spirit, he shall be executed presently.
Now the gods keep you old enough that you may live only in bone, that none may look on you. I am worse than mad. I have kept back their foes while they have told their money and let out their coin upon large interest. I myself, rich only in large hurts. All those for this. Is this the balsam that the usuring Senate pours into captains' wounds? Banishment. It comes not ill. I hate not to be banished. It's a cause worthy of my spleen and fury that I may strike at Athens. I'll cheer up my discontented troops and lay for hearts. 'Tis honor with most lands to be at odds. Soldiers should brook as little wrongs as gods.
She exits. And there we go. So what's with this? What page we on?
The good time of day to you, sir.
What page are we on?
105,
Oh, 5.
That's it.
scene 6.
Okay. Almost there. Okay. Scene 6, music. Enter divers, friends at several doors.
The good time of day to you, sir.
I also wish it to you. I think this honorable lord did try us this other day.
Upon that were my thoughts, tiring when we encountered. I hope it is not to woe with him as he made seem in the trial of his several friends.
It should not be by the persuasion of his new feasting.
I should think so. He had sent me an earnest inviting, which my near occasion did urge me to put off. But he had conjured me beyond them, and I must needs appear.
In like manner was I in debt to my importune business, but he would not hear my excuse. I am sorry when he sent to borrow of me that my provision was out.
I am sick of that grief too, as I understand how all things go.
Every man hears so. What would he have borrowed of you?
1,000 pieces.
1,000 pieces?
What of you?
He sent to me, sir. Oh, here he comes.
Enter Timon and attendants. With all my gentlemen both, and how fare you?
Ever the best, hearing well of your lordship.
The swallow follows not summer more willing than we, your lordship.
No more willing leaves winter. Such summer birds are men. Gentlemen, our dinner will not recompense this long stay. Feast your ears with the music a while. If they will fade so harshly of a trumpet sound, we shall do it presently.
I hope it remains not unkindly with you, Lord, with your lordship, that I return to you an empty messenger.
Oh, sir, let it not trouble you.
My noble lord,
My good friend, what cheer?
my most honorable lord, I am in sick of shame that when your lordship this other day sent to me, I was so unfortunate a beggar.
Think not on it, sir.
If you had sent but 2 hours before,
Let it not cumber your better remembrance. Thank you. Come, bring it all together.
all covered dishes.
Royal cheer, I warrant you.
Doubt not that, if money in the season can yield it.
How do you? What's the news?
Alcibiades is banished. Hear you of it?
Alcibiades
Alcibiades
banished?
banished?
'Tis so, be sure of it.
How? How?
I pray you, upon what?
My worthy friends, will you draw near?
I'll tell you more anon. Here's a noble feast toward.
This is the old man still.
Wilt hold? Wilt hold?
It does, but time will, and so...
I do conceive.
Each man to his stool, with that spur as he would to the lip of his mistress. Your diet shall be in all places alike. Make not a city feast of it. To let the neat, cool air, we can agree on the first place. Sit, sit. The gods require our thanks. Our great benefactors, sprinkle our society with thankfulness for your own gifts. Make yourselves praised, but reserve still least your deities be lend to each man enough. One need not lend to another. For were your godheads to borrow of men, men would forsake them. Make the meat be beloved more than the men that give it. Let no assembly of 20 be or better a score of villains. If there sit 12 women at the table, let a dozen of them be as they are. The rest of your thieves, O God, the senators of Athens, together with a common tag of people, what is amiss in them? You gods, make suitable and distinction. For these my present friends, as they are to me nothing in nothing but less better than, and to nothing are they welcome. Uncover dogs and cover they contain only water and stones.
What does this hardship mean?
I know
I know not.
May you a better feast never behold. You not of now friends, smoke in lukewarm water is your perfection. This is Timon's last. He's stuck and spangled with your flatteries, washes it off and sprinkles in your faces your reeling villainy that live loathing and long. Most smiling, smooth, detested parasites, courteous destroyers, affable wolves, and meek bears, you fools of fortune, trench your friends, time flies, cap and knee slaves, vapors and minutes checks of man and breast melody. Crust you quite here. What dost thou go? Soft, take thy physic first, thou too, and thou, say I will lend thee money, borrow none. He attacks them, forces them out. What? All emotion henceforth being a feast, whereat a villain must burn house, sink Athens henceforth. Hated he of Timon and all humanity. Enter, he votes for senators and other lords.
Oh, now, my lords.
Know you the quality of Lord Timon's fury?
Push! Did you see my cap?
I have lost my gown.
He is but a mad lord, and naught but humor sway him. He gave me a jewel the other day, and now he has beat it out of my head. Did you see my jewel?
See my cap?
Here 'tis.
Here it is.
Here lies my gown.
Let's make no stay.
Lord Timon's mad.
I feel it upon my bones.
One day he gives us diamonds, next day stones.
Senators and other exits. Okay, now we'll take a 5-minute break.
How long?
5 minutes.
Okay.
So, all in 5. One more, really? Oh. Oh, okay, I guess we're all here. Celia, Mark. Okay, we'll start. I'm sure they'll be here. Scene Act 4, Scene 1. Enter Timon. Let me look back upon thee. Oh, the wall that girdles in those wolves, dive in the earth, and fence not Athens matrons. Turn in content, obedience fall in children, slaves and fools, pluck the grave wrinkled senate from the bench and minister in the steeds. To general with filth convert all the instant green virginity to it in your parents' eyes. Bankrupts hold fast rather than render back out with your knives and cut your trusters' throats. Bound servants steal. Large-handed robbers you grave masters are, and pill by law made to thy master's bed. Thy mistress is of the brothel, son of 16. Pluck the lined crutch from thy old limping sire. With it beat out his brains, piety and fear, religion to the gods, peace, justice, truth, domestic law, quiet, night, rest, and neighborhood, instruction, manners, mysteries, and trades, degrees, observances, customs, and laws decline to your confounding contrarieties. Yet confusion live, plagues incidents to men, your potent and infectious fevers keep on Athens ripe for stroke, though cold, sociatica, triple our senators, that their limbs may halt as lamely as their manners. Lust and liberty creep in the minds of and the narrows of our youth. The stream of virtue they may strive and drown themselves in riot itches. So all the Athenian bosoms and their crop, the general leprosy, breath of breath, that their society, as their friendship, may be merely poison, nothing. I'll bear from thee but nakedness, that detestable town. Take thou that too with multiplying bands. Timon will to the woods, where he shall find the unkindest beast more kinder than mankind. Good gods all. The Athenians both within and out that wall, and grant as Timon grows, his hate may grow to the whole race, mankind, high and low. Amen. Enter Steward Flavius and 2 or 3 servants.
Here you, Master Steward. Where's our master? Are we undone, cast off, nothing remaining?
Alack, my fellows, what should I say to you? Let me be recorded by the righteous gods. I am as poor as you.
Such a house broke? So noble a master fallen, all gone, and not one friend to take his fortune by the arm and go along with him.
As we do turn our backs from our companion thrown into his grave, so his familiars to his buried fortunes slink all away, leave their false vows with him, like empty purses picked, and his poor self a dedicated beggar to the air, with his disease of all shunned poverty, walks like contempt alone. More of our fellows,
all broken implements of a ruined house.
Yet do our hearts wear Timon's livery, that see eye by our faces. We are fellows still, serving alike in sorrow. Leaked is our bark, and we poor mates stand on the dying deck, hearing the surge's threat. We must all part into the sea of ire.
Good fellows, all, the latest of my wealth I'll share amongst you. Wherever we shall meet, for Timon's sake, let's yet be fellows. Let's shake our heads and say, as it were now unto our master's fortunes, we have seen better days. Let each take with some, nay, put out all your hands, not one word more, this part we reach in sorrow, parting poor. Oh, the fierce wretchedness that glory brings us. Who would not wish to be from wealth exempt, since riches point to misery and content? Who would be so mocked with glory, or to live but in a dream of friendship? To have his pomp and all what state compounds, but only painted, like his vanished friends? Poor honest lord, brought low by his own heart, undone by goodness. Strange, unusual blood, when men's worst sin is he does too much good. Who then dares to be half so kind again? For bounty that makes gods do still mar man. My dearest lord, blessed to be most accursed, rich only to be wretched, thy great fortunes are made thy chief afflictions. Alas, kind lord, his flanking range from this ingrateful seed of monstrous friends, nor has he with him so to supply his life, or that which can command it. I'll follow and inquire him out. I'll ever serve his might with my best will. Whilst I have gold, I'll be his servant still.
We had just seen 3 Timon in the woods for the stage. Oh, blessed breeding sun, draw from the earth, rocking humidity below thy sister's orb, infectious the air, whose for procreation, residence and birth, scarce as the greater scorns the lesser. That's nature, to whom all scores lay siege and bear great fortune, but my contempt of nature. Raise me this beggar and deny. The senators shall bear contempt. Hereditary the beggar, native honor. It is the pasture lards the brother's sides, and wants that makes him lean. Who dares? Who dares? Impurity of manhood stand upright and say, this man's a flatterer. If one be, so are they all. For every grave of fortune is smothered by that below. The learned paint ducks to the golden pool. All's oblique. There's nothing level in our cursed natures. but direct villainy. Therefore, he abhorred all feasts, societies, and his semblable yet yea himself Timon disdained. Destruction, bang mankinder, yield the roots. Who seek for better of the sauce? With thy most apparent poison. What is here? Gold? Yellow, glittering, precious gold? No gods. I am no idolatrist. Roots you clear heavens thus. Much of this will make black, white, foul, fair, wrong, right, base, noble, old, young, coward, valiant. You gods. What is your God? What is? Will mud your priests and servants from your sides, pluck stout merit pillows from below their heads. This yellow slave will knit and break religions, bless the accursed, make the horror leprosy adored, place thieves, and give them title, me, and approbation, with senators on the bench. This that makes the weapon widow wet again. She whom the spinal house and ulcerous sores would cast the gorge at with this embalms and spices to April day again. Come, David, thou common whore of mankind, that puts odds among throughout the nations. I like to do right by nature. The drum? Now quit, but yet will bury thee. Thou I put strong teeth when gaudy keepers of these cannot stand. They say that thou out for earnest. There to go with the somehow. Enter Alcibiades, the drum and fife, in warlike manner, and Prenia and Tamaja.
What art thou there? Speak.
I am breath as thou art, the canker gnaw thy heart, for showing me again the eyes of man.
What is thy name? Is man so hateful to thee that thou art thyself a man?
I am Misanthropos. Part, I do wish thou wert dog, that I might love thee something.
I know thee well, but in thy fortunes am unlearned and strange.
I know thee too. And the more that I know thee, I not deserve to know. Follow thy drum. Man's blood paints the ground, ghouls, religious canons, civil gowns are cruel. Then what should fell whore of thine hath with her more destruction than thy sword? For all of them.
Thy lips rot off.
I will not kiss thee, then the knot returns to thine own lips again.
How came the noble Timon to this change?
As the moon does, by wanting lights to give, but never knew I could not, like the moon, there were no suns to borrow of.
Noble Timon, what friendship may I do thee?
None, but to maintain my opinion.
What is it, Timon?
honesty, friendship, but before none. Thou wilt not promise the gods plague thee, for thou art a man. If thou dost perform, confound thee, for thou art a man.
I have heard in some sort of thy miseries.
Thou sawest them when I had prosperity.
Thou sawest that I had prosperity.
I see them now. Then was a blessed time.
Time is now held with a brace of harlots.
Is this the Athenian minion whom the world voiced so regardfully?
Thou art Timandra.
Yes.
Be a whore still. They love thee not that use thee. Give them diseases, leaving them with thee their lust. Make use of thy soft powers. Season the slave for tubs and baths. Bring down the room to the tub fast and
Hang thee, monster!
Pardon him, sweet Timandra, for his wits are drowned and lost in his calamities. I have but little gold of late, brave Timon. The want whereof doth daily make revolt in my penurious band. I have heard and grieved how cursed Athens, mindless of thy worth, forgetting thy great deeds when neighbor states, but for thy sword and fortune trod upon them.
I prithee, beat thy drum and get begun.
I am thy friend and pity thee, dear Timon.
How dost thou pity him whom thou dost trouble? I had
Fare thee well. Here's some gold for thee.
keep it. I cannot eat it.
When I have laid proud Athens on a heap.
Warrest thou against Athens?
Aye, Timon, and have cause.
Gods confound them all in thy conquest, and thee after when thou hast conquered.
Why me, Timon?
That by killing of villains thou wast born to conquer my country. Put up thy gold. Go on. Here's gold. Go on. As a planetary plague with Jove will o'er some high-voiced city hang this poison. In the sick air, let not thy sword skip one. Pity not honored age for his white beard. He is an usurer. Strike me the counterfeit matron. He is her habit. Only that is honest. Therefore, abhorred, let not the virgin cheek make soft thy trenchant sword for those milk paps that brought the window bars before men's eyes are not within the leaf of pity rope, but send them down horrible traitors. Spare not the babe, whose dimpled smiles from fools exhaust their mercy. Think it a bastard whom the oracle hath beautifully pronounced. The throat shall cut, and mine its Sam's remorse smears against objects. Put armor on thine ears and on thine eyes, whose proof nor yells of mothers, maids, nor babes, nor sighs of priests in holy vestments, bleeding shall pierce a jot. Here's gold to pay thy soldiers. Make large confusion by thy fury. Thee thyself, speak not, be gone.
Hast thou gold yet? I'll take the gold thou givest me, and not all thy counsel.
Dost thou or dost thou not? Heaven's curse upon thee.
Give us some gold, good Timon. Hast thou more?
Enough to make a whore or sworn her trade. And to make whores abroad. Hold up, you sluts, your aprons mountains. Here are not half fable, although I know you'll swear, terribly swear, into strong shudders and to heavenly awns. The immortal gods that hear you, spare your own. I'll trust to your convictions. Be whores still, and he whose penis breath, whose pious breath, seeks to convert you, be strong in whore, allure him, burn him up. Let your close fire predominate his smoke, and be no turn coats. May your hands, let may your pains 6 months be quite contrary, and hatch your poor thing roof. Of the dead. Some that were hanged, no matter where them, betray them with them. Still, paint till a horse may mire upon your face, a pox of wrinkles.
Well, more gold, what then? Believe us that will do anything for gold?
Consumption so a hollow bones of man strikes their sharp shins, and marmen spurring crack the warrior's voice. He may never more false title plead, nor sound his quillets shrilly, for the layman that scolds against the quality of flesh, and not believes himself. Down with the nose, down with it flat, and make the bridge quite away. And that is particular to foresee. Smells from the general meal make and let the unscarred beggars of the war derive some pain from you. Plague all your natural activity and defeat, and quell the source of all erection. There's more gold. You do damn others, and let this damn you, and bitches.
More counsel with more money, bounteous Timon.
More mischief first. I gave you earnest.
Strike up the drum toward Athens. Farewell, Timon. If I thrive well, I'll visit thee again.
If I hope well, I'll never see thee more.
I never did thee harm.
Yea, thou speakest well of me.
Call'st thou that harm?
Find it thee away, the beagles with thee.
We but offend him. Strike.
Okay. That nature, being sick of man's unkindness, should yet be hungry. Common mother thou, whose womb, unmeasurable and infinite breast, teems and feeds all, whose self-same metal, whereto thy proud child, arrogant man is puffed, endangers back toad and adder blue, the gilded newt and eyeless venomed worm, will all be abhorred births below crisp haven, whereon Hyperion's quipping fire doth shine, yielding all try human sons to date, from forth thy plenteous bosom, one for fruit. And smear thy fertile and contemptuous womb, let it no more bring out ungrateful men, go great with tigers, dragons, wolves, and bears, teem with new monsters, whom thy upward face hath to the marble mansion all above. Never presented you a root. Dear thanks, dry up thy marrows, bind and flow torn leaves, whereof ingrateful men with licorice draughts, evermore unconsciously greases his pure mind, that from it all consideration slips. Athanasius. Poor man, plague.
I was directed hither. Men report thou dost affect my manners and dost use them.
Is then because thou dost not keep a dog, whom I would imitate, then some shall catch thee.
This is in thee a nature but infected, a poor, unmanly, melancholy spring from change of future. Why this spade, this place, slave-like habit, and these looks of care? Thy flatterers yet wear silk, drink wine, lie soft, hug their deceased perfumes, and have forgot that ever Timon was. I should shame not these woods by putting on the cunning of a carper. Be thou a flatterer now, and seek to thrive by that which has undone thee. Hinge thy knee, and let his very breath, whom thou observe, blow off thy cap. Praise his most vicious strain, and call it excellent. Thou wast told thus. Thou gavest thine ears like tapsters that bade welcome to knaves and all approachers. 'Tis most just thou turn rascal. Hadst thou wealth again, rascals should have thee. Do not assume my likeness.
Where I like thee, I throw away myself.
Thou hast cast away thyself, being like thyself. A madman so long, now a fool. What thinkest that the bleakest air, thy boisterous chamberlain, will put thy shirt on warm? Will these moist trees that have outlived the eagle page thy heels and skip when thou pointest out? Will the cold brook, candied with ice, coddle thy morning taste to cure thy o'ernice surfeit? And call the creatures who naked nature lives in all the spite of wreakful heaven, whose bare unhoused trunks to the conflictingest elements exposed, answer mere nature. Bid them flatter thee. Oh, thou shalt find.
Sorry.
That's good.
Damn it.
It's page 139, 260.
What page are we on?
139, line 260.
A fool of thee depart.
I love thee better now than ere I did.
I hate thee worse.
Why?
Thou flatterest misery.
I flatter not, but say thou art a caitiff.
Why dost thou seek me out?
To vex thee.
Always the villain's office are fools. Thus please thyself with it.
Aye.
What a knave too.
If thou didst put this sour, cold habit on to gastigate thy pride, 'twere well, but thou dost it enforcedly. Thou dost courtier be again, wert thou not beggar. Willing misery outlives in certain pomp, is crowned before. The one is filling still, never complete. The other at high wish, best state contentless, hath a distracted and most wretched being, worse than the worst content. Thou shouldst desire to die, being miserable.
Not by this breath that is more miserable. Thou art a slave from fortune's tender arm, with flavor never clasped, but bred a dog. Hast thou, like us, from our first swap, proceeded with sweet degrees, that this brief world afford of such as many the passive drugs of it freely command, thou wouldst have plagued myself in general riot, melted down by thy youth, indifferent beds of lust, and never learned the icy precepts of respect, but followed the sugared game before thee. But myself, who had the world as my confectionery, the mouths, the tongues, the eyes, and hearts of men, and duty, more than I could frame employment, that numberless upon me stuck his leaves. Do not do on the oak. Have the one with one winter's brush fell from their boughs and left me open there. For every storm that blows, I to bear this, that never knew but better. In some burden thy nature did commence in sufferance. Time hath made thee hard in it. Why shouldst thou hate men? They never flattered thee. What hast thou given? Thou wilt curse thy father, that poor rag must be thy who in spite put stuff to some she beggar and compounded thee, poor rogue hereditary. If thou hast not been born the worst of men, thou hast been a knave and a flatterer.
Art thou proud yet?
I that I am not thee.
I that I was no prodigal.
I that I am one now, where all the wealth I have shut up in thee. I give thee leave to hang it, get thee gone. That the whole life of Athens were in this, thus would I keep it.
Here I will mend thy feast.
First mend my company, take away thyself.
So shall I mend my own by the lack of thine.
Is not well mended so. It is but botched, if not I would it were.
What wouldst thou have to Athens?
Thee hither in a whirlwind, if all them there I have gold. Look, so I have.
Here is no use for gold.
The best and truest. For here does no hired harm.
Where liest the knights, Timon?
Under that Where feedest thou a day's where feedest thou a day's appetite?
Where my stomach finds meat, or rather where I eat it.
Would poison were obedient and knew my mind.
Where wouldst thou send it?
The sauce thy dishes.
The middle of humanity thou never knewest, but the extremity of both ends. When thou wast in guilt in thy perfume, they mocked thee for too much curiosity. In thy rags thou knowest none, but art despised for the contrary. There's a meddler for the eater.
On what I hate,
Dost thou hate a meddler?
I, though it look like thee.
And thou dost hate meddlers sooner. Thou shouldst love thyself better now. What man didst thou ever know unthrift that was beloved after his means?
Who without those means thou talk'st of, didst thou ever know, beloved?
Myself.
I understand thee. Thou hast some means to keep a dog.
What things in the world canst thou nearest compare to thy flatterers?
Women nearest, but men are the things themselves. What wouldst thou do with the world, Appomattus, if it lay in thy power?
Give it to the beasts to be rid of the men.
Wouldst thou have thyself fall in the confusion of men and remain a beast with the beasts?
Aye, Timon.
A beastly ambition, which the gods grant thee to do. If thou wert the lion, the fox would beguile thee. If thou wert the lamb, the fox would eat thee. If thou wert the fox, the lion would thee when peradventure thou wert accused by the ass. If thou wert the ass, thy dullness would torment thee. And if thou livest but as the breakfast to the wolf, if thou wert the wolf, thy greediness would afflict thee, and oft thou shouldst hazard the life of thy dinner. Wert thou the unicorn, pride and wrath would confound thee, and make thine own self-conquest of thy fury. Wert thou killed by the horse, wert thou a horse, thou wouldst be seized like a leopard. Wert thou a leopard, thou wert germane to the lion, and the spots of thy jurors on thy life. All thy safety were motion, and thy defense absence. What beast couldst thou be that were not subject to a beast? And what a beast art thou already that seest not thy loss in transformation?
If thou couldst please me with speaking to me, thou mightst have hit upon it here. The Commonwealth of Athens has become a forest of beasts.
How has the ass broke the wall that thou art out of the city?
Yonder comes a poet and a painter. Plague of company light upon thee. I will fare to catch it and give way. When I know not what else to do, I'll see thee again.
When there is nothing living but thee, thou shalt be welcome. I had rather be a beggar's dog than Appomattus.
Thou art the cap of all the fools alive.
Would thou wert clean enough to spit upon?
A plague upon thee, thou art too bad to curse.
All villains that do stand by thee.
There is no leprosy but what thou speakest.
bet thee, but I should infect my hands.
I would my tongue could brought them off.
Thou issue of a mangy dog, choler, does kill me that thou art alive. I swoon to see thee.
Would thou would burst.
Away, thou tedious rogue. I am sorry. I shall lose a stone by thee.
A beast.
Slave,
Toad.
rogue, I am sick of this false world and will love naught but even the mere necessities. Presently prepare thy grave. I will home of the sea beat thy gravestone daily an epitaph. The death in me and others lives, may laugh. Oh, thou sweet king killer and dear divorce. Twixt natural son and sire, thou bright defiler of Hymen's purest dead, thou valiant Mars, thou ever young, fresh love and delicate war, whose flush doth thaw the consecrated snow that lies on Zion's lap. Thou, visible God, thou soldiest close impossibilities, and makest them kiss every time, every purpose. Oh, thou touch heart. The slave man rebels, and by thy virtue set them into confounding odd. The beasts they have the word empire.
Would 'twere so, but not till I am dead. Thou sayest thou's gold, thou wilt be thronged too shortly.
Wrong too?
Aye.
Thy back, I prithee.
Live in love thy misery.
Long live so, and so die. I am quit.
More things like men. Eat women and abhor them.
Where should he have his gold? It is some poor fragment, some slender ort of his remainder. The mere want of gold and the failing of his friends drove him into this melancholy.
It is noised he hath a mass of treasure.
Garrett, you want to take third bandit?
Let us make the essay upon him. If he care not for it, he will supply us easily. If he covetously reserve it, how shall's get it?
True, for he bears it not about him. 'Tis hid.
Is not this he?
Where?
Where?
'Tis his description.
He, I know him.
Save thee,
Timon.
Timon.
Now, thieves,
Soldiers, not
Soldiers,
thieves.
thieves.
both two, and woman's sons.
We are
We
not
are not
thieves, but
thieves,
men
but
that
men
much
But then that
do
much you
want.
want.
Your greatest want is you want much of meat. What do you want? Behold, the earth hath roots. Within this smile break forth 100 springs. The oak's fair mast, the briar scarlet hips. The bounteous housewife nature on each bust lays a full mess before you. Want. Why want?
We cannot live on grass, on berries, water, as beasts and birds and fishes.
Nor on the beasts themselves, the birds and fishes. You must eat men. Yet thanks I must you con that you are thieves, profess that you work not in holier shapes. but there is boundless thief, limited professions, rascal thieves. Here's gold, go! Suck the subtle blood of the grape, till the high fever seethe your blood to froth, and so escape hanging. Trust not the physician. His antidotes are poison, and he slays more than you rob. Take wealth and lives together. Do they villainy do since you protest to it? Like workmen, I'll example you the thievery. The son's a thief, and with his great attraction robs the vast sea. The moon's an errant thief, and her pale fine. The moon's an errant thief. Her pale fire she snatches from the sun. The sea's a thief, whose liquid surge resolves the moon into salt tears. The earth that feeds and breeds by a composture stolen from general excrement. Each thing a thief cause you, your curb and whip, with their rough power as unchecked thief. Love not yourselves. Away, rob one another. There's more gold. Cutthroats. All that you need are thieves. All that you meet are thieves. To Athens go. Break open shops. Nothing can you steal, but thieves do lose it. Steal less of this, I give you, and gold confound you, horse sower, howsoe'er. Amen.
He hath almost charmed me from my profession by persuading me to it.
It is in the malice of mankind that he thus advises us not to have a strife in our mystery.
I'll believe him as an enemy and give over my trade.
Let us first see peace in Athens. There is no time so miserable, but a man may be true.
These exit. Enter Flavius, the steward, and Timon.
Oh, you gods! Is yon despised and ruinous man my lord, full of decay and flailing? Oh, monument and wonder of good deeds evilly bestowed! What an alteration of honor has this desperate want made! What viler thing upon the earth than friends, who can bring noblest minds to base ends? Who rarely does it meet with this time's guise, when man was wished to love his enemies. Grant I may ever love, and rather woo, those that would mischief me than those that do. Has caught me in his eye, I will present my honest grief unto him, as my lord, still serve him with my life, my dearest master.
Away, what art thou?
Have you forgot me, sir?
Why dost ask that? I have forgot all men. Then if thou grantest thou art a man, I have forgot thee.
An honest poor servant of yours.
Then I know thee not. I never had honest man about me. I kept were knaves to serve and meat to villainy.
The gods are witness. Ne'er did poor Stuart wear a truer grief for his undone lord than mine eyes for you.
What dost thou weep? Come near then, I love thee, because thou art a woman and disclaimest flinty mankind, whose eyes do never give, but through lust and laughter. Pity sleeping. Strange times that weep with laughing, not with weeping.
I beg you to know me, good my lord, to accept my grief, and whilst this poor wealth lasts, to entertain me as your steward still.
Now, so comfortable. It almost turns my dangerous nature my own. Faith. Surely this man was born of woman. To give my general a acceptless rashness. You perpetual sober gods, I do proclaim one honest man. Be not but one. No more, I pray. And he's a steward. How fain would have, and thou redeemest thyself, but all save thee I fell with curses. Methinks thou art more honest now than wise for thy oppressing and betraying me, though mightest have sooner got another service. For many so arrive at second masters upon their first lord's neck. But tell me true, for I must ever doubt, though I ne'er so sure, as not thy kindness is not thy kindness subtle, covetous, a usuring kindness, and as rich than your gifts, expecting in return 20 for one.
No, my most worthy master, in whose breast thou didst suspect, alas, a place too late. You should have feared false times when you did feast. Suspect still comes where an estate is leased. That which I show, heaven knows, is merely love, duty and zeal to your unmatched mind, care of your food and living, and believe it, my most honored lord, for any benefit that points to me, either in hope or present, I'd exchange for this one wish that you had power and wealth to require me by making rich yourself.
Look thee to so. Thou seemingly honest man, here, take. The gods out of my misery have sent thee treasure. Go, live rich and happy, but thus conditioned thou shalt build from men, hate all, curse all, show charity to none, but lack the famished flesh, slide from the bone. Here thou relieve the beggar, give to dogs. Thou art deniest to men. Let's prison swallow, that's wither 'em to nothing, even like blasted woods. And may diseases lick up their false bloods. And so farewell and thrive.
Oh, let me stay and comfort you, my master.
Thou hast curses, stay not. Fly whilst thou art blessed and free. Mercy, thou man, and let me mercy thee. The exit. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter poets and painter.
As he took note of the place, it cannot be far where he abides.
What's to be thought of him? Does the rumor hold for true that he's so full of gold?
Certain, Alcibiades reports it. Phryne and Timandra had gold of him. He likewise enriched poor struggling soldiers with great quantity. This said he gave unto his steward a mighty sum.
Then this breaking of his has been but a try for his friend?
Nothing else. You shall see him in a palm in Athens again and flourish with the highest. Therefore, 'tis not amiss we tender our loves to him in this supposed distress of his. It will show honesty in us and is very likely to load our purposes with what they travel for, if it be a just and true report that goes of his having.
Oh, what have you now to present unto him?
Nothing at this time but my visitation. Only I will promise him an excellent piece.
I must serve him so too. Tell him of an intent that's coming towards him.
Good as the best. Promising is the very air of the time. It opens the eyes for expectation. Performance is ever the duller for his act, but in the plainer and simpler kind of people, the deed of saying is quite out of use. To promise is most courtly and fashionable. Performance is a kind of will or testament which argues a great sickness in his judgment that makes it.
Excellent workman. Thou canst not paint a man so bad. Paint a man so bad as thyself.
I am thinking what I shall say. I have provided for him. It must be a personating of himself, a satire against the softness of prosperity, with a discovery of the infinite flatteries that follow youth and opulency.
Must thou needs stand for a villain in thine own work, thine own faults, and other men? And so I have gold for thee.
Nay, let's seek him. Then do we sin against our own estate, when we may profit meet and come too late.
True. When the day serves before black cornered night, find what thou wantest by free and offered light. Come.
I'll meet you return. What's a god's gold? That he is worshipped in a baser temple than where swine. 'Tis thou that raggest the bark and plows the foam. Settlest, admired, reverenced, and a slave. To thee be worshipped, and thy saints for aye. Be crowned with plagues that thee alone obey. Fit, I meet not.
Hail, worthy Timon.
Our late noble master.
Have I once lived to see two honest men?
Sir, having often of your open bounty tasted, hearing you were retired, your friends fallen off, whose thankless natures, oh, abhorred spirits, not all the whips of heaven are large enough. What to you, whose star-like nobleness gave life and influence to their whole being? I am rapt and cannot cover the monstrous bulk of this ingratitude with any size of words.
Let us go naked, men may see the better. You that are honest by being what you are, make them best seen and known.
He and myself have travailed in the great shower of your gifts, and sweetly felt it.
Aye, you are honest men.
We are hither come to offer you our service.
Most honest men, how shall I requite you? Can you eat roots and drink cold water? No?
What we can do, we'll do to you in your service.
To your service.
You're honest men. You've heard that I have gold. I am sure you have. Speak truth, you're honest men.
So it is said, my noble lord. But therefore come not my friend, nor I.
Good, honest men. Thou drawest a counterfeit. Best in all Athens, thou art indeed the best. Thou counterfeitest most likely.
So, my lord.
E'en so, sir, as I say, and for thy fiction, why thy verse swells with stuff so fine and smooth that thou art even natural in thine art. But for all this, my honest-natured friend, I must needs say you have a little fault. Marry, it is not to sin you, neither wish I you take much pains to mend.
Beseech your honor to make it known to us.
Take ill.
Most thankfully, my lord.
Will you indeed?
Doubt it not, my worthy lord.
There's never one of you but trusts a knave that mightily deceives you.
Do we, my lord?
Aye, and you hear him cog, see him dissemble, know his gross hatchery, love him, feed him, keep in your bosom, yet remain assured that he's a made-up villain.
I know none such, my lord.
Nor I.
Look you, I love you well. Until you go, rid me these villains from your companies. Hang them or stab them, drown them in a draught, confound them by some curse and some to me. I'll give you gold enough.
Name
them, my lord.
Let's
know them.
You that way and do this, but two in company, each man apart, all single, all alone. Yet an arch villain keeps him company. If were thou art two villains shall not be, come not near him. If thou wouldst not reside, but there one, let him abandon. Hence, pack. Here's gold. You came for gold, you slaves. You have to work. You have worked for me. There's payment hence. And you're an alchemist. You are an alchemist. Make gold of that. Out, rascal dogs. Drives them out. Enter steward Flavius and two senators.
It is vain that you would speak with Timon, for he said so only to himself, that nothing but himself, which looks like man, is friendly with him.
Bjorn?
Uh-oh. Which page?
Bottom of 172.
Sorry.
136.
Okay. It is our part and promise to the Athenians to speak with Timon.
At all
No,
times,
bring us.
Bring us to the thing.
Oh, sorry. Bring us to his cave. It is our part and promise to the Athenians to speak with Timon.
at all times alike, men are not still the same. 'Twas time and griefs that framed him thus. Time, with his fairer hand, offering the fortunes of his former days. The former man may make him. Bring us to him, and chance it as it may.
Here is his cave. Peace and content be here. Lord Timon, look out and speak to friends. The Athenians, by two of their most reverend senate, greet thee. Speak to them, noble Timon.
Timon out of the cave. Thou son that comforts burns, speak and be hanged for each true word. A blister at each false be as a categorizing to the root of the tongue, consuming it with speaking.
A worthy Timon.
Of none but such as you, and you of Timon.
The senators of Athens greet thee, Timon.
I thank them and would send them back the plague that I but catch it for them.
Oh, forget what we are sorry for ourselves and thee. The senators with one consent of love entreat thee back to Athens, who have thought on special dignities which vacant lie for thy best use and wearing.
They confess toward thee forgetfulness too general gross, which now the public body, which doth seldom play the recanter, feeling in itself a lack of Timon's aid, hath sense withal of its own fail, restraining aid to Timon, and send forth us, to make their sorrowed render, together with a recompense more fruitful than their offense can weigh down by the dram. Aye, even such heaps and sums of love and wealth as shall to thee blot out what wrongs was theirs, and write in thee the figures of their love, ever to read them thine.
You witch me, and it's surprised me to the very brink of tears. Send me a fool's heart and a woman's eyes, and I'll beweep these comforts, worthy senators.
Therefore, so please thee to return with us, and of our Athens, thine and ours, to take the captainship, thou shalt be met with thanks, allowed with absolute power, and thy good name live with authority. So soon we shall drive the back of Alcibiades thy approaches wild, who, like a boar too savage, doth root up his country's peace.
And shakes his threatening sword against the walls of Athens.
And therefore, Timon,
Well, sir, I will. Therefore, I will say thus: if Alcibiades kill my countrymen, let Alcibiades know this of Timon. But ere Athens and take our goodly aged men by the beards, bring our holy virgins to the stain our contumelious, beastly, mad-brained war, then let him know and tell him Timon speaks it. In pity of our aged and our youth, I cannot choose but tell him that I cannot and let him take at worst, for their eyes are out. While you have throats to answer, I myself, there's not a whittle in the unruly camp, but I do prize it in my love before the reverend throat of in Athens. So I leave you to the protection of the prosperous gods as thieves to keepers.
Stay not, all's in vain.
Why, I was writing of my epitaph. It will be seen tomorrow. My long sickness of health and living now begins to mend, and nothing brings in all things. Go, live still. The Alcibiades, your plague, you his, and last so long enough.
oh, we speak in vain.
But yet, I love my country and am not one that rejoices in the common rack as common brute doth put it.
That's well spoken.
Command me to my loving countrymen. Command me to my loving countrymen.
These words become your lips as they pass through them.
And enter in our ears like great triumphers in their applauding gates.
Commend me to them, and tell them that to ease them of their griefs, their fears of hostile strokes, their aches, losses, their pangs of love, with other incident throes that nature's fragile vassal doth sustain in life's uncertain voyage. I will some kindness do them. I'll teach them to prevent wild Alcibiades' wrath.
I like this well. He will return again.
I have a tree which grows here in my close that mine own use invites me to cut down, and shortly must I fell it. So my friends, tell Athens in a sequence of degree from high to low throughout, that whoso pleased to stop affliction, let him take his haste. Come hither, ere my tree hath fell and hang himself. I pray you do my greeting.
Trouble him no further, thus you still shall find him.
Come not to me again. But the ancient verge of the salt flood, who once a day with his embossed froth shall cover. Hither come, let my gravestone be your oracle. Lips let for words go by at language end. What is amiss? Plague and infection mend graves only the sun hide my beams. Time undone is rain. Time undone.
His discontents are unremovably coupled to nature.
Our hope in him is dead. Let us return and strain what other means is left unto us in our dear peril.
It requires swift foot.
They exit. Scene 2. Enter 2 senators and a messenger.
Thou hast painfully discovered. Are his files as full as thy report?
Shelia, you want to take the messenger?
I have spoke the least. Besides, his expedition promises present approach.
We stand much hazard if they bring not Timon.
I met a courier, one mine ancient friend, whom, though in general part we were opposed, yet our old love made a particular force and made us speak like friends. This man was riding from Alcibiades to Timon's cave with letters of entreaty, which imported his fellowship in the cause against your city, in part for his sake moved.
Enter other senators.
Here come our brothers.
No talk of Timon, nothing of him except the enemy's drum is heard. A fearful scorning doth choke the air with dust. In and prepare. All's as the fall, I fear, our foes the snare.
They exit. Scene 3. Enter a soldier in the wood seeking Timon. Bjorn?
Oh, I am the soldier, sorry. By all description, this should be the place. Who's here? Speak. Oh. No answer. What is this? Timon is dead, who hath outstretched his span. Some beast read this. There does not live a man. Dead, sure, and this is his grave. What's on the tomb I cannot read. The character I'll take with wax. Our captain hath in every figure skill. An aged interpreter, though young in days. Before proud Athens he's set down by this, whose fall the mark of his ambition is.
He exits. Scene 4. Trumpet sound. Enter Alcibiades with his powers before Athens.
Sound to this coward and lascivious town our terrible approach. Till now you have gone on and filled
Senators
the
appear
time
upon the way.
with all licentious measure, making your wills the scope of justice. Till now myself and such as slept within the shadow of your power have wandered with our traversed arms and breathed our sufferance vainly. Now the time is flush, when crouching marrow in the bearer strong cries of itself no more. Now breathes wrong shall sit and pant in your great chairs of ease, and pursy insolence shall break his wind with fear and horrid flight.
Noble and young, when thy first griefs were but a mere conceit, ere that thou hast power, or we had cause of fear, we sent to thee to give thy rages balm, to wipe out our ingratitude with loves above their quantity.
So did we woo transformed Timon to our city's love, by humble message and by promised means. We were not all unkind, nor all deserve the common stroke of war.
These walls of ours were not erected by their hands from whom you have received your grief, nor are they such that these great towers, trophies, and schools should fall for private faults in them.
Nor are they living, who were the motives that you first went out. Shame that they wanted cunning, and excess hath broke their hearts. March, noble Lord, into our city, with thy banners spread, by decimation and a tithed death. If thy revenges hunger for that food which nature loathes, take thou the destined tenth, and by the hazard of the spot die, let die the spotted.
All have not offended. For those that were, it is not square to take on those that are revenge. Crimes like lands are not inherited. Then, dear countryman, bring in thy ranks, but leave without thy rage. Spare thy Athenian cradle and those kin which in the bluster of thy wrath must fall with those that have offended. Like a shepherd, approach the fold and call the infected forth, but kill not altogether.
What thou wilt, thou rather shalt enforce it with thy smile, than hew to it with thy sword.
Set but thy foot against our rampired gates, and they shall ope. So thou wilt send thy gentle heart before to say thou'lt enter friendly.
Throw thy glove, or any token of thine honor else, that thou wilt use the wars as thy redress, and not as our confusion. All thy powers shall make their harbors in our town, till we have sealed thy full desire.
Then there's my glove. Descend and open your uncharged ports. Those enemies of Timon's and mine own, whom you yourselves shall set out for reproof, fall, and no more. And to atone your fears with my more noble meaning, not a man shall pass his quarter or offend the stream of regular justice in your city's bounds, but shall be remedied to your public laws at heaviest answer.
'Tis most nobly spoken.
Descend and keep your words.
Senators descend. Enter soldier with a wax tablet. Bjorn?
My noble general, Timon is dead, entombed upon the very am of the sea, and on his gravestone this insculpture. With wax I brought away, whose soft impression interprets for my poor ignorance.
Here lies a wretched corse of wretched soul bereft. Seek not my name, a plague consume you wicked caitiffs left. Here lie I, Timon, who, alive, all living men did hate. Pass by and curse thy fill, but pass and stay not here thy gate. These well express in thee thy latter spirits, though thou abhorredst in our human griefs, scornst our brains flow, and those our droplets which from niggard nature fall, yet rich conceit taught thee to make vast Neptune weep for aye, on thy low grave, on faults forgiven. Dead is noble Timon, of whom memory hereafter no more. Bring me into your city, and I will use the olive with my sword. Make war breed peace. Make peace stint war. Make each prescribe to other as each other's leech. Let our drums strike.
Drums. They exit. Well done, everybody. That went